The member from York Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the acting Premier. Earlier this week, the Leader of the Opposition had some questions about the impact of the heat wave on our students. Recently, a local parent reached out to me to voice his concerns. Last Thursday, a student in my riding brought a thermometer to school. The parents were concerned about the heat. At 11:30 a.m., the thermometer read 32 degrees. The following afternoon, it read 34 degrees. Acting Premier, I know that when your office gets too hot, you can move to a more comfortable place for a meeting, but we don't have that luxury for our students. So I'm asking you to commit here today that we will have a mandate for maximum temperatures for Ontario schools in the event of a
Thank you. Deputy Premier.
Minister of Education.
Minister of Education.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to thank the member opposite for the question. And we certainly have been experiencing some warm days this late in the season in September, and very happy that today we've had some natural relief. It's much cooler today, and I'm sure that our classrooms are experiencing that change in the weather. Mr. Speaker, I understand the concern that the member opposite is bringing forward, and our students, our parents, and our teachers. Of course, when the classrooms are warm, that is impacting their ability to learn in the classroom. And Mr. Speaker, that is exactly why we have been providing school boards across Ontario with increased investments in renewal funding. $1.4 billion has been provided to school boards to address their priority concerns, including installing air conditioning, Mr. Speaker.
Metri.
Yes, thank you. The Premier has championed this government as a leader in climate change, and you acknowledge that it will trigger extremes. Why isn't the learning environment of our children a priority? I will ask you one more time. Will you commit here today that we will have a mandate for maximum temperatures for Ontario schools in the event of extreme heat?
You seated, please. Thank you. Minister?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I actually believe that our education system is a priority of this government, Mr. Speaker. And you see that in our record when the member opposite, when her party was in power, our education system was actually in a state of chaos, Mr. Speaker. Graduation rates were only 68%. Mr. Speaker, as of last year, they are at 86.5%. Mr. Speaker, funding for education since 2003 has actually gone up by 66%. So we are spending more today on a per pupil basis than we have before. But as it relates specifically to the learning environments, we have prioritized that, Mr. Speaker. I mentioned in my earlier answer $1.4 billion in investment, and that is in addition to the $2.7 billion that we have provided to our school boards over the last 2 years so that we can improve the learning environment for all of our students.